So y'all know I hate HBCUs and I make fun of them a lot because highest amount of debt coming out of school, lowest form of education possible. But today I'm gonna start a new series called HBCU graduation rates. Today we start with Langston University in Oklahoma. Take a look at this. So between all the hooting and hollering and jive turkeying and stepping fetching, um, Langston University should be shut down this week, right? I'm gonna write a letter to the Oklahoma Senate. They gotta shut this shit down. And there used to be standards for like joining these sororities and fraternities. Obviously, that's out the window. We need to focus more on education, on food intake, and on healthcare. And I'm not even one to speak. I'm just saying that there used to be a standard up here, and now the standard is under the pits of hell. But Langston University has a 4% graduation rate. All right, let it sink in. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a lot of EBT members in this crowd, and they're getting them checks from the FAFSA that they want Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to write off, so then we pay for it. So the EBT award of the HBCU of the week, Langston University. Send your kids there if you want them to be in debt. Skedaddle.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, what you just saw, y'all, in my opinion, is an abomination of the collegiate experience. And don't get me wrong, I know this brother has some issues. He admitted that he has some problems with HBCUs. I do not have his same problem with HBCUs. I respect HBCUs for what they are, what they have been in the Black community, what they used to offer. As a matter of fact, I respect them so that when I was applying to law school, the only acceptance letter that I kept out of all the schools I got accepted to, the only one I kept was Howard Law School because of its history and legacy and what it has meant to the community throughout generations. But it seems like, y'all, these days, these HBCUs are reflective of the downturn in that very community. Seems like as we lose respect for ourselves, and you see all these videos floating around on TikTok and the internet of us showing out on all these different instances. You see our neighborhoods deteriorating. You see our churches deteriorating. You see Black culture deteriorating. Y'all, how can the HBCUs not deteriorate when we as a people are deteriorating? We are the attendees. We are the very students that inhabit these hallways. And if we can't do better, well, it's going to be hard for us to expect these universities and institutions to do better. But this, I cannot agree with. No. I don't get this at all. I ain't for this at all, because you got so many people who are going in debt these days for a college education, thinking that it's going to open some doors for them in the future. And in cases like this, where you have a 5% graduation rate, and the white students at the school have about a 35% graduation rate, you mean it's a HBCU and the white students are graduating more than the Black students? What are y'all doing? Oh, I know what you're doing. You're dancing around. You're hopping around. You're stomping and making grunting noises and twirling candy canes and such. Seem like you ain't focused on the very purpose of being there. Now, mind you, my personal opinion is that the current model of higher education is a flawed model. It has outlived its usefulness, and the point of going to school and getting a lecture and reading a chapter and memorizing the chapter, and at the end of the week coming back and taking a multiple choice test, I don't think that is preparing students for the current job market. I just don't. I think that format of education is old and outdated, and we must rethink how we're educating our youth. Now, that being said, these HBCUs like Langston are focused more on culture than on education. And that's why they're missing the mark altogether. You're missing the goal. The goal is to educate students, graduate students, after preparing them to be successful in life. If that's the goal of your university, my God, you are failing miserably. So what are we to do as a culture? This young brother said, shut it down. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But I think they need to be audited seriously, because I guarantee you, if you go and look at some of these administrations at these HBCUs, you see these presidents making money. You see these administrations are top heavy. You got all these administrators making all this money. But somehow it ain't making it to the classroom because these students are failing at an alarming rate. I'd rather you not go at all than to go to an institution like this and end up dropping out, end up learning nothing after you're tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Well, that will act like an albatross around your neck. Some of that stuff you'll never pay off. How do you expect to get ahead? No, college has become a burden, and HBCUs even more so.
Okay. It's what? Okay. Come on. Let me see something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And there you have it, y'all. You saw exactly what I saw. I ain't got to criticize too hard. I ain't got to go too heavy on the situation. You saw it just like I saw it. Look like to me, this about the most exercise some of them young students have gotten in a long time. If that's the culture that your school is focusing on, maybe they should focus on that culture a couple of hours a day. And you would see a change in your life, in your physical appearance, in your health. Y'all look unhealthy. What is going on? Not just unhealthy physically, but if you ain't learning nothing, you unhealthy mentally. And we can't expect you to bring anything positive to the community when you ain't getting nothing positive out of your college experience, y'all. We need to remake this whole structure, because these legacies are falling by the wayside. These people are coming in as administrators who are extracting personal wealth. But the benefits of the experience is not being passed down to the students. Y'all remember when Deion Sanders went to Jackson State? He was a transformative person. I'm about to watch his game in a couple hours today. He transformed their football program, won them some championships, and he ended up leaving because he said, this organization is bad. The culture is bad. The money is bad. If we don't change the culture, we are not going to be able to bring in elite talent and have them stick around, because they're used to a certain level of performance. And when they get in institutions like this, they look around and say, this ain't it. What is going on here? This is not excellence in any way, shape, or form. And I have high standards for myself such that I cannot sit here and ignore what I see around me in this institution. I got to move on. That's what Deion did. That's what all your talented people are going to do, regardless of color. This ain't color-based. You can bring somebody in of any race and they get to looking around and say, I ain't used to this. I'm not used to so many students dropping out. I'm not used to so many students not doing their work. I'm not used to so many students not showing up for class or coming in late, carrying food, walking in late, carrying Starbucks, coming in late, interrupting my lecture. I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to be excellent. I'm trying to be an example to these young folks. And here they are, lost in this culture of low expectation. Y'all, we got to do better. And that's why I highlight stories like this. Somebody got mad and sent me a nasty gram the other day because I used the phraseology blackety black. They said, are you going to call white people whitey whites? Well, yeah, you know what? I didn't go to a blackety black institution. I chose to go to a whitey white institution because although I had respect for Howard and its legacy, they ain't had no money. And the whitey white institution over there was throwing money. So it was a smart decision. And unfortunately, because of the culture that has overtaken these HBCUs, so many Black, talented, intellectual individuals are making that same choice. Y'all, we losing our best talent to the whitey white institution. And I don't blame them. Me and my homeboys used to sit in the law library and say, man, because we all got accepted to Howard. We used to sit there and have discussions like, man, we should have went to Howard. Because you see some of the stuff that go on in those other institutions, but nah, we was just popping off. We was just in a moment of anger, in a moment of disgust. I think we all really understood why we were at that institution, and we also understood it was the best decision for us even to this day. Y'all, this is my plea. This is my outcry to you as a community, and those of you who are not within the community but are on the outside looking in and care about the community. Find somebody you know, encourage them to do better, encourage them to be better. And until these institutions are in a position to do better or make decisions to do better, I would advise you and your loved ones to make better decisions than to go to these institutions where you just jump around and chant and kick your leg up and drop out of school. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'd love to know your thoughts on this topic. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.